Anyway, it's been recorded. If you could, in the audience, if you could let us know a little bit about your professional background, whether you have ever been in a virtual environment, or a little bit about yourself. And you can type this in the text chat in form of a one-liner. Whilst you're doing this, I'm happy to tell you a little bit more about Michael Thomas, with whom I'm very, very proud to have been working with already in the second EU-funded project. The previous one was Camelot, and this one, Guinevere. Guinevere, games used in engaging virtual environments for real-time language education. Now, Dr. Michael Thomas holds a lot of a BA, a Cert TESOL, an MED, an MBA, and PhD, and FHEA, FRSA. He's a reader and associate professor in digital education and learning in the School of Language and Global Studies at the University of Central Lancashire. He's a course leader in MA for TESOL and with Applied Linguistics by e-learning, and course leader of BA honors degrees in intercultural business communication by blended learning. He's held academic positions everywhere, worldwide, in Japan, in Germany, in the UK. He's been at the Mannheim University. He's also he's the lead and founding editor of 3 book series, Advances in Digital Language Learning and Teaching by Bloomsbury Continuum, Digital Education and Learning, Palgrave Macmillan, and Advances in Virtual and Personal Learning Environments by ISR. He is associate editor of a number of journals. He has guest edited over 10 peer-reviewed special editions on language learning and technology. He is the author and editor of 18 books, over 50 refereed articles and book chapters, 50 conference presentations and keynote addresses, and over 100 professional publications. We're very delighted to have Michael as our project coordinator, and I can also tell you that not only does he have an amazing amount of academic credentials, he is also a fantastic project leader. He is we're very, very honored to have him. So without further ado, over to Michael.
Okay, thank you, Heike. Hope everybody can hear me loud and clear. Yep. Okay, I think that bio is actually too long. It's probably longer than what I'm going to talk about today. But I'm going to talk about the Guinevere project. So, as you've heard, games used in engaging virtual environments for real-time language education. So it's a 2-year project funded by the Erasmus Plus program as a strategic partnership for school education. So we started this in December 2017, and it will run until November 2019. So we have 5 partners: University of Central Lancashire, where I come from, University of Istanbul in Turkey, University of the Line in Florence in Italy, Let's Talk Online, of course, with Heike, and another SME in the Netherlands, which is our technical partner, and that's 3D LES, and they take the role, really, as I say, of the technical partner, putting together the different virtual worlds and different virtual environments that we'll be using in the project. So in terms of what we're going to do today, I'm really going to give you a little bit of an overview of the different work packages. So after this just brief kind of introduction and some stuff about the context, Tuncer Can from the University of Istanbul is going to talk about work package 1, which concerned with literature review and needs analysis and really kind of establishing the context of the project. And then after that, Heike and Letizia are going to focus on looking at the Evo Village experience, which was part of work package 1 as well. And then after that, Carol Rainbow is going to talk about some of the different virtual environments that we've put together in the project. I believe she's going to focus on Minecraft. So Guinevere really tries to create 3 different immersive virtual environments where we're trying to look at the principles of gaming to design some effective games that we can transfer into these immersive environments. And they will be Second Life, OpenSim, and Minecraft. So, like I said, in the first work package there, which is really about theory of games design, it's about trying to understand some of the research that's been done over the last 5-10 years in games design, trying relating this to some recent trends in gamification, and learning analytics as well. Of course, that's an emerging area that we're trying to look at, to establish just the foundations of that, and then to do a needs analysis with some teachers and some students and pupils from the primary school sector, from the secondary school sector, and also from the university sector, just to map the terrain, if you like, and to understand what people are doing and what kinds of needs and interests they have in relation to gaming, that is outside immersive environments as well as inside immersive environments. And then we try to identify some good practice. So we try to categorize these games into different areas. You can give us some input perhaps on that, in terms of what kinds of genres, if you like, of different games exist, for web quests or problem solving or inquiry-based types of games, for example, or collaborative games. So we're trying to, as I say, map this area, looking at the wide area of education and games, and then bringing it back into the specific field of language learning and digital gaming. And then in the second work package, we're really focusing on creating some of these games and based on these design principles and taking them into these 3 different virtual environments. Like I said, Minecraft, where we'll be focusing on primary school pupils to a certain extent, to a greater extent, Second Life, and OpenSim. So we start to field test some of these, particularly in Minecraft, where we'll be working with primary school and secondary school in the UK. We then try and create some training materials. So we start off by training some of the partners in games design and how to create these different games in the different immersive environments. And we also focus on creating a mobile application as well, so to carry forward some of these principles into an app that can be used in class, out of class, and in blended learning environments. And then in the third work package, we're focusing on field testing, so actually bringing in some of these pupils from the primary school sector, the secondary school sector, university sector, and allowing them to experiment and create and collaborate with the games that we have in these different immersive environments. And then finally, based on all of this, because all of these different things fit together really, part by part, block by block, they interconnect and create some synergies. So this all leads to 2 iterations of a teacher training course, and this will be freely available to everybody, and that will be really the main deliverable of this 2-year project. Like the previous projects that Heike mentioned, they've provided to a certain extent the foundations for this. I mean, all of the resources will be open access and available to teachers and students. So we really want you to be able to access these materials and reshape them and repurpose them and take them forward into different teaching and learning contexts. Yeah. Okay, so I've given you a little bit of an overview of the partners in this project, the main focus of this project, building on the Camelot project as well, in terms of the pedagogical principles, so trying to take forward task-based learning and project-based learning, and allow students to focus on, and teachers to focus on, bringing together their creative skills, their collaborative skills, their digital literacy skills. So we don't just have an idea of language learning as something that takes place in a primary school or a secondary school just once or twice a week for a predetermined set of time, but tries to integrate other disciplines into language learning. So it's surrounded by, doing work on maths or history or geography in this kind of a creative project-based approach to language learning. So it's not at the edge of the curriculum, but trying, I think, to move language forward and language learning forward strategically. So it's more at the center of a series of disciplines. And I think that is one productive way forward. Okay, so I've given you this overview. I'm going to hand over now to my colleague Tuncer, hopefully, Tuncer Can, who is going to talk to us about that first work package, which looks at the research, what's being done in terms of the wider context of games in education, and then bringing this back into a narrower context of digital game-based language learning, looking at some of the design principles. And hopefully he'll also talk to us about the beginnings of the needs analysis phase. So we'll be engaging a wider community of language teachers and learners to get your kind of views about how we shape and how we design these games and resources and how we take them forward. Okay, Tuncer, are you there? Can you hand over to Tuncer?
This is Tuncer.
Hi, Tuncer.
Yes.
Hi. On your webcam.
Can you hear me?
I would like to introduce you a little bit to the audience. We've had a couple of people also write down their professional background, which is absolutely wonderful. Can you switch on your webcam, Tuncer? Again?
Yes.
And perhaps, Michael, if you wanted to switch yours off now, that would be great. Okay. Then what I would like to do is I would like to introduce Dr. Tuncer Can, who completed his MA at Istanbul University in 2004 on constructivism and training of pre-service foreign language teachers. He was granted a scholarship and he spent 2 terms in the Syracuse University in the United States. He also taught Turkish via video conferencing at that time. And he completed his PhD at the University of Istanbul on using foreign language learning strategies in the context of lifelong learning and plurilingualism. He has taken part in another 3 European projects, one of which is integration of young refugees using mobile devices, and Tableau on the use of tablets for classroom differentiation. Tuncer was the main person who first of all established a presence in Second Life, and then now they do run 2 SIMs in Second Life. They do several Erasmus projects teaching Turkish to Erasmus students. They have developed quite a number of games already on this island, and he works closely with their ICT department at the University of Istanbul. So he's one of these very techie English professors, doctors. Him and his son, they compete in Minecraft, if that says something to you. Okay, over to you, Tuncer.
Okay, thank you very much, Heike, for that very long, actually, presentation of me. I don't know if I'm doing so much, but yeah, let me come back to Guinevere Island and the Guinevere project and what we are doing so far. I'd like to report on the activities, especially on the work package 1. As we have started our project like 5 months ago, we have been very busy doing the literature review, first of all. And now I would like to report on the activities that we have been doing and the actual stuff that we have done so far with basically literature review. So first of all, the first work package that we are responsible for is designed of 5 deliverables. The first one is the theory of game design, where we are doing actually 2 things. The first thing is we have planned and brought together people from our project to design 2 questionnaires for teachers, first of all, for teachers who are interested and who are already playing or actually employing games, 3D games with their students for teaching. And number two, the second one was designed for the students who are actually using those games and who are playing those games for learning. So we would like to learn more about their practice. We would like to learn more about what kind of games they're playing and what platforms are they using and all that stuff. Based on that, we are actually trying to bring together a theory and actually a literature review on the games and then what kind of games people are using and the literature. So in the literature and throughout these, we are actually almost done with the literature review, and I hope that by the end of May we will have solid reports, which we will actually put on the website, on the Guinevere project website, where everybody can reach to those. We have done two things for the literature review. Silvia Benini, actually, who's a partner from the Michael side, she's also helping us with the literature review, and she has done amazing work summarizing the use of 3D virtual games and gamification basically in education. This is the first part that we have created with her. And the second thing that we have been doing is we have tried to do an actual meta-analysis of the games specifically used for second language learning or acquisition like it is. And we have looked through around 40 papers right now, which are actually published in decent publications and, of course, in decent platforms. And we have looked through what kind of games they have used, and then what kind of activities, what kind of research they allowed. And we came out with some numbers. Right now, we are ready with all of these, but I'm not able to show you right now the results. But like I said, by the end of May, we will have a whole picture of all these 40 papers that we have summarized, and you'll be able to see, and everybody will be able to see what we have come up with. With this, we have planned to create a solid ground for the use of games for language learning in this field. So this is what we have done in the first deliverable. And in the second intellectual output in this is actually the game design of global simulations. And here again, Silvia Benini has done a great job by, again, summarizing all the designs that the games have in themselves, and then what kind of actual simulations are being used, and what kind of games are there in the field for language learning and this stuff. The third intellectual output is actually done by Heike, and she's reporting there on their Evo Village experience, and she's reporting for the results from their study with the actual teachers, what kind of activities they did with the games during Evo Village, and then what kind of games they designed and all of that stuff. So this was number 3. And in number 4, intellectual output 4, Christel Schneider, who's I think not here today with us, but she has contributed into that a lot, and she has been, and actually we did the last meeting like 2 days ago only with her, and we are trying to categorize the games, the actual games that have been used in the field, starting from board games into simulations, the games that allow for task-based learning, and the games that allow for different topics to teach, not only the language, but other skills like math and social sciences. And yeah, we have been looking into those games, and I guess we are almost done with that as well. But the only thing is we are also trying to include into that some more games, like for example for health education, and look into that, how this could be possible with the students, and afterwards perhaps even based on that categorizing, design some games ourselves. So this was intellectual output 4. And in the last one, in the intellectual output 5, regarding this work package that we are responsible for, we are looking into the guidelines for language teachers. Actually, we have one more month to finish up this, but based on all the information that we have gathered through these intellectual outputs, we are planning to have solid guidelines for language teachers, and perhaps these language teachers can look into those, can look into the literature review, can look into the games that we have at hand and examples of the games, and then they can start using those in their actual teaching. So basically, this has been all that I can tell you about the work package number 1. Yeah, Heike?
Thank you ever so much, my Tuncer. And can I just ask you, ask the audience whether you have any questions to Tuncer, as he's been relating quite a few technical descriptions, something like IOs and literature review, etc. Do you have any questions to Tuncer? Sorry, my system seems frozen for the moment. I must check. Okay, Jason says his head hurts. Jason, you should go offline and go outside, enjoy the smell of flowers. You've been here so long. Yeah, my system is a little bit frozen. Okay, then perhaps can I ask Tuncer himself, as regards to the study and the interest of games and games design, etc., etc. Has there something been striking that you came across?
Well, yeah. Actually, there's an anecdote that I would like to share here with with everybody, and it's about Minecraft. We were discussing about Minecraft, and we were discussing throughout the project about Minecraft and other platforms that people are using, and we are frequently playing on Minecraft and communicating with other people, but we do it together, father and son, and this is a way that we spend together. So at one point, I remember I think it was Michael who was talking about another platform similar to Minecraft, that's Roblox. And then while I was inquiring about it, looking through what is Roblox and everything, and I was talking about this to my son. Hey, you know what? There is this another system like Minecraft is Roblox, and he was like, "Hey, Dad, I've been playing this for 1 year now." I think this is striking. I mean, the kids are way before us. Yeah. And then I said, hey, would you like to show it how it works? And because I really want to learn about that because we are looking through that in the project. And he was like, yeah, Daddy, sure. And I asked him, why do you play Roblox but not Minecraft? But he said, yeah, I play Minecraft, I play Roblox. The Roblox is free, and I don't have to pay for most of the things. That's why we play Roblox with friends. And I was like,
Oh,
what, really? And then he taught me how it works. He gave me a walkthrough with in the Roblox, and then yeah, I was very happy because, like I said, the kids are way before us in the games business. And one more thing, perhaps, just to rationalize why games and gamification and everything else. I was talking about this with a social scientist here in Turkey, and he was like, yeah, in the science, we have been looking for very long at the movement of the matter, at the movement of atoms, at the movement of other things. And in chemistry, we've been looking how the molecules move and the movement of molecules and how they come together and how they make up stuff. And then he said, but with the games, it's apparent that this is the movement of the kids. So do you think that movement of the kids, like the games, is less important than the movement of the atoms? Because in the end they make up the whole societies, all these games and this kind of learning. And I was fascinated by this because this is where I think science and games should meet. This is how we should rationalize that the movement of the kids while they're playing, while they're learning, is not actually degradable. I think this is a very important issue as well.
that is interesting that you said that you actually learn from your son, because at other conferences I heard teachers present about their work with Minecraft, and they actually came on stage with their learners, with their students, 10, 11, 12-year-old, came on stage presenting this workshop to the audience, and they said, this kind of pedagogy where the students teach us teachers is a very new pedagogy, and it's frightening at first, but it's also a very interesting pedagogical approach. Yeah, whereby the learners, they have to explain, they have to, it's fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you very much for this insight.
And another thing,
And personal experience, lovely. Other questions from the audience just now? Sorry, my text chat is frozen. I have to, for some reason it's not budging. Okay, say it again.
Okay. I'd like to say one more thing about this kids and kids teaching us. This is an important issue because for so long we have been looking into education like from up to down, I mean from top to bottom, but now it's like the bottom to top. So I think the bottom-up approach right now is prevailing with the adults and the teachers' skills, the digital skills, because as you know, digital skills are becoming like the 21st century skills, basically that the teachers should have, and this comes through students. I mean, this is an important issue, and this brings, I believe, a very sincere relationship between a superior teacher and an inferior student, and this creates all different kinds of relationships inside the classrooms as well, because this is a more sincere way of communicating with your pupils, I think.
Fantastic. Thank you very, very much, Tuncer. So we're going to go over to Letizia now, and could Letizia come up?
Hello.
Letizia, is such a great honor that you're here, especially since you have a family. Obviously, the Saturday is a precious time for you. Let me just introduce you as well, like the others. So here, we'll be very, very delighted. We could actually call her Dr. Letizia Cinganotto. Well, Letizia Cinganotto is a full-time researcher at INDIRE, which is the National Institute for Documentation and Innovation and Educational Research. She holds a BA in Foreign Language Teaching, an MA in e-learning and multimedia learning, and a PhD in linguistics on CLIL. She has far-reaching experience in continuous professional development for teachers, teacher trainers, head teachers, in the Italian context, and also in international communities of peers on CLIL, language teaching, technology-enhanced language teaching, immersive teaching, and learning of English and linguistics. She is the CLIL queen on a European level. Now, a fantastic, a lot of in-depth research going on in the field of immersive learning. And so we're looking forward to you telling us more about this, what you've done at INDIRE, and be part of the IUL, the project partner.
Thank you, Heike. First of all, don't disappear, please, because we are going to share this presentation. So please come back with me. Yes, okay. Yeah, because first of all, it's a great privilege for me to be here today. Thank you, Heike, for your wonderful job you're doing with this virtual symposium. And I'm happy to meet here all my partner in the project. And it's a great pleasure for me to be part of this wonderful project, GUINEVERE, on behalf of my online university, which is IUL University, which is co-funded by INDIRE, my research institute, the research institute where I work as a researcher, together with University of Florence. Together with Heike, today we are going to talk about our previous experience together in Edmondo, and I'm going to tell you what Edmondo is now. which was sort of our experience together, and from which some ideas of GUINEVERE stemmed. So just we could say that it was a sort of experimentation together on immersive language learning in immersive world, and from this little experiment, we just had this idea, especially Heike, of course, had this wonderful idea of this bigger project, GUINEVERE. So for us, it's a privilege to have contributed with our small experiment to the bigger project, which is GUINEVERE. So I'm going to tell you something about this Edmondo. Edmondo is an open sim that we have in our institute in Dire, which is the educational virtual world. We could say a sort of second life, but is protected, first of all, because it's associated to the database of schools all over Italy, so only teachers and students can access. And it's only for education. We have a lot of teachers going there with their students, working with different projects, different topics. And of course, we dealt with this particular area of language learning in immersive world. And so we created English Village. English Village is a land in Edmondo that was created by Andrea Benassi, my colleague at Indire. So we created this land just devoted to language, to all the activities in, that have to do with English. And so the idea was to create this region, this land where teachers and students could play games with English. Play games, and so considering a game-based approach, they could, in this immersive world, experiment how to improve language competencies, the competencies in English through games. So teachers were instructed to build games in Edmondo in order to bring their students there and have them play in world. So our project started from some sort of directions that we had to follow, we wanted to follow. In particular, this European background, I'm going to mention just very quickly, the report from the European Commission 2014 recommending the use of technologies, so computer-assisted language learning, for improving language learning, language competencies, and CLIL, Content and Language Integrated Learning, which, as Heike said, is one of my my biggest research areas, is my highlight. And in particular, in this report, you can read game-based learning. So game-based learning is recommended by the European Commission to foster language learning and CLIL. So always talking about European background, this framework that is the upcoming revision of the key competencies. This is just the new these are going to be the new keywords, the key competencies that will be adopted by next month. So digital, you see digital, and you see languages and literacy. So of course they're going to be part of the 21st century skills that also Tuncer mentioned. So digital environments and the virtual worlds could enhance, could help our students meet the 21st century challenges. And in fact, digital literacy is a highlight for our students. They have to be digitally competent in order to improve their all the other literacies. Our Italian background in particular is just this strong push from the Ministry of Education towards languages. So English is taught since the first year of primary school, and we have this CLIL mandatory in all upper secondary schools, and with the Law 107 in 2015, CLIL for all, so starting from primary school. So we thought that this sort of pilot project, this experimentation in Edmondo, in virtual worlds, could help teachers and students improve their level of competence, improve also their methodological skills, and somehow offer in a different, different way, and interactive and engaging way of practicing the language. So in particular about CLIL, we have this case study in Eurydice brief in key data on teacher languages at school in Europe from Eurydice report, where Italy has been chosen, and I had the privilege to write this case study with Inspector Giuseppe Landré from the Ministry of Education. The case study has been chosen by the European Commission as a sort of best practice on CLIL all over Europe, because we have this CLIL for all in upper secondary education. So our project, we started in 2011 actually with Heike, with this small pilot project within our postgraduate degree. So our teachers were brought there, were brought in Edmondo, and Heike guided, you can see something, guided them to surf and to build games and other activities in the world. And sorry, the slides are not shown properly, but anyway, you can get the idea. So here is our first big project, and you can see here, apart from Heike, our experts, international experts. I'm so happy to see Shelwyn here. So hello, Shelwyn. Yeah, she was one of our guru in our courses, and she was so much appreciated by our teachers, our entire teachers, for her style, teaching methods. It was just wonderful. And you see Carol as well. So we have also Caroline as our godmother. So we had our teachers, our Italian teachers, instructed in Edmondo by our wonderful experts in English. So there was, of course, the the experience, the immersive experience in English by native speakers was the added value. The added value is in the international perspective. We had two different courses, one on language, so to help them improve their language competencies, and one on methodology, so to how to build games, and with their specific lesson plan behind, of course, and then games to be played with the students, of course. We had ours was a research project, because, as I said, Indira is a research institute, so we wanted to investigate the potential of immersive world. So the added value of game-based immersive teaching and learning to EFL and CLIL classes. And so we used different methods. We collected the teachers' diaries, like in Padlet. You can see a learning diary where they had to collect all their experiences and the highlights from their activities, the recording of the pictures of the activities in World, in Synchronous. Then we had some focus group. We had some interviews. So we tried to in parallel with their training experiences, we wanted to investigate the impact of this initiative and their beliefs, their perceptions. We used a Moodle platform, as you can see here, and there they had to also apart from the activities, the synchronous activities in Edmondo with our experts in asynchronous in Moodle, they had some tasks, some activities to perform, like, for example, collecting their diary and the screenshot of their activities, or some other specific tasks. This is an example of learning diary with all the most significant moments of their training they had to collect, just to sort of documentation of their pathway, but also to activate their metacognition on the competencies they had acquired and the ones they had still to improve. At the end of the course, we created this wonderful English Games Park, which is still there in Edmondo, specific land divided into different sections, different areas. You can see one with CLIL, of course, one on A1, A2, B1, so according to the level of the framework. And there the teachers had to were invited to build their games with the scripts and with lesson plan behind, so that it could be a sort of exhibition, a games park, where other teachers could go and with their students and have them play with these games also later on. In fact, we had this exhibition at the end of the course, but this games park is still there, so any teacher can go there and play with their students. This is the final ceremony. You can see showing here, because we had this delivery of certificate at the end of the course. Of course, a certificate was issued, but this was the final festival that we had, also with virtual delivery of the certificate to participants and to our tutors. The final survey was very rewarding, so just they were satisfied and were happy, and they were enthusiastic and happy to use Edmondo with their students, because of course this was the first piloting experience, and now a lot of these teachers are using Edmondo with their students. Now I leave the floor to Heike to give you some more details.
Yes, sorry, I didn't mean to disappear. I meant to show the video. I have it prepared here. So, is this a good time to show the video, Letizia?
If you like, sure.
It's a sentence-making board game.
It's just a board on telling and asking for the time. I used this image of this clock, and I put some sounds inside. Particularly if we get...
Oh, sorry, it seemed to have jumped a little. That was me accidentally. Start again.
It's a sentence-making board game. You've got 3 dice to roll. On one dice there are numbers from 1 to 6, of course. On one of the other dice there are 3 symbols for affirmative, negative, and question.
It's just a board on telling and asking for the time. I used this image of this clock, and I put some sounds inside. Particularly if you touch o'clock, quarter past, half past, and quarter to, you can listen to the sound.
3 o'clock.
As we entered the maze, we found questions on the path. If we could answer the questions correctly, then we would work our way through the maze. But if we answered the question wrongly, then we had to click on the ball and teleport back to the question. The ball actually gave us a complete response. It told us the answer and explained why and how the answer was right, so children would learn if they were wrong.
Then they talk about Hamlet and his story, and they decide to talk about this story all together, trying to record a podcast.
Hi guys, welcome. We are here today to talk about Hamlet. Hamlet is one of the most important Shakespeare's tragedy. Who's Hamlet?
I know. He's the beast of demon.
Oh, very well, Maria Teresa. And Claudius, who's Claudius? Who's the king?
Is the new king. It's Hamlet's uncle.
Very good, guys, very good.
That kills you.
No!
So here we had a little bit an overview of the different types of activities and games that we tried out, some of which you might think perhaps that might not be all that applicable for 3D environments as regards to board games. I mean, why would you play a board game in a virtual world if you can play the board game in a real classroom setting? But keep in mind that the virtual environment always lends itself to getting people together at a distance, even maybe also, this is why we're trying this out, perhaps eventually connecting language learners from different countries like Italy, Holland, and this is at the moment it's still not possible because obviously the security issue of dealing with the learners, but also because some of the learning environments do not lend themselves to really be for children. OpenSim does, and now we've been exploring. This is how basically we started, and Letizia and myself, we've been we created a report about this previous very preliminary experience that led to the proposal of Guinevere, because the results were so promising. The creations of the teachers, which, I mean, train teachers to build in a virtual world is technically quite challenging, and yet they produced an amazing amount of really, really interesting games, fantastic games, mostly, you know, taken from face-to-face into a virtual environment and still exploring how to add the value of a virtual world. But this has been the beginning and the start, and a very promising start. And now, of course, we've since we've started with the Guinevere project, a new world has opened up for us that is to do with Minecraft, which I would have never expected myself to be immersed in a real video game, in a real virtual world video game that is of a different kettle of fish. Now, Letizia, we would like to pass over to Carol. Is there anything else you wanted to add just to finish this off?
Yeah, no, first of all, I would like to thank you, and so it was really, really a pleasure to be here today. But also, I'd like to say hello to Elena Galani, who's, sorry, I forgot to mention her before, because she was one of our godmothers as well, involved in our course, was brilliant as well. So sorry, Elena, but I just realized now that you were here. And so thank you again, and congratulations, Heike, for this wonderful event. Bye-bye.
To stay on and stay tuned as we're going to ask Carol on the stage. Carol, who will take us into different virtual worlds. And I'm so thrilled about Carol being on the project, because she's not only proven to be the most experienced and the most talented and the most wonderful teacher trainer in the virtual world, she's then done an excellent job on top of it in OpenSim, and now she excels in Minecraft. There's no challenge that Carol cannot master. It's absolutely incredible. So let me introduce Carol to you just briefly. Briefly is good. She's got a bio just almost as long as Michael.
No. One line, that'll do. She's there, standing there, that'll do.
No, I'm proud. I mean, to know you is a real great honor. Carol Rainbow holds a B.Phil Ed honor at Works and taught English and music in schools for many years. And with the introduction of ICT in education, she became a teacher trainer and an ICT coordinator, and she went on to become an ICT consultant for Oxfordshire, working with teachers to make sure ICT plays a key role in enhancing pupils' educations in Oxfordshire schools. Currently, Carol is an online tutor for the Consultants E, teaching language educators from all over the world how to use technology to enhance their teaching or to teach online. She has been using virtual worlds as a teaching platform for the last 8 years, and she taught e-safety. She's also moderated several EVO sessions. She's been in Second Life, on EduNation as one of the core people, I would say. She's a great cinematographer and a games maker. Over the last 5 years, Carol has worked for the University of Central Lancashire on 2 EU-funded projects, that is Camelot and now Guinevere. Her interest is working in virtual worlds, currently mostly Minecraft, and to investigate how they can be best used to engage learners. She also loves making and sharing digital stories through machinima making. Without further ado, over to you.
Thanks, Heike. Thanks very much. Okay, everybody, I'm going to share a little presentation first. We've got teachers that don't know virtual worlds at all, likely to be joining us in virtual worlds. And I just want to give them some idea of what they might be able to do. Now, you've just seen loads of board games there, all those sorts of on-the-spot games to develop specific language. And yes, we've created loads of those, and actually there are some of those in our Guinevere Island on the Open Sim, some very similar to the ones you've seen, because I built a lot of the ones you've seen, and I built them again in Guinevere. So, so you'll see some of those, but also trying to think of a much bigger picture. And these are two projects that either I've built or I've had a lot of help in building, which I'll mention as we go through. To try and inspire teachers so that they can literally see the sorts of things you can do. Okay, so let's just have a look. So this one, now then, 10 weeks ago, I said I hated Minecraft. I didn't want anything to do with it. I would do all the work in OpenSim and somebody else could do Minecraft. I said that at my interview. If Michael's still there, I did say that at my interview. And then the very first meeting, Michael said, okay, Carol, you do Minecraft Evo, which is a 5-week session learning about Minecraft. We were already halfway through Minecraft Evo. I didn't think there was any chance of learning. But I went in and met 2 absolutely wonderful people, one of whom is with us now, and that's Dakota Redstone, and a lady called Olive Tree Lighthouse, who has been around at the conference. I've seen her in the conference, and she's certainly around in Second Life, in World of Warcraft, in Minecraft. She's everywhere. And these 2 people have taken me under their wing and taught me so much, you wouldn't believe it. And then about the 1st of March, thereabouts, so almost 2 months ago, we got our sim. A huge area of flat land with nothing. Flat green as far as the eye can see. And very boring. Nothing to do, nothing of interest. Just nothing there for anybody really to get excited about. So I talked to Nick from 3DLES, who is the technical person for the project, and asked him if you could have a proper world in in survival mode. So there's 2 modes. There's one called creative, which you literally have as many building resources as you could possibly want, and you can build forever. You're not going to encounter any of the mobs or things that make it really interesting and that the kids absolutely love. It's what takes them to it endlessly. It's creative, inclined towards boring in my opinion. Or there's a survival mode. And the survival mode, you have 10 minutes of daylight where you can mine, build, kill things to get your resources. So you kill a sheep to get wool, you pick flowers to dye the wool pretty colours, you mine coal so that you can cook the food, the carrots and the potatoes and the apples, so that you can eat and keep alive. It's a whole survival game. You have everything in it to survive, but you have to learn how to use it. And then something like 10 minutes of daylight and 10 minutes of night time. And in those times, daytime is obviously when you can do all the work. Nighttime you're fighting mobs, or just going to bed like me. I'm forgetting they exist. Okay, so two very different games, but they are complete games. You can work your way right from beginning, right the way through Minecraft to the end. But obviously we want people in and we want them to be using it to try and foster language learning. That's the whole project. So I went in and I'm stood there thinking, okay, now what? I had no interest, I didn't want to be there, and I'd got to try and produce something for teachers. So this was one of my first ideas. I'm totally incapable of building it, of course, because I couldn't build anything. I'm still not very good. But it was one of my first ideas that we might have an alien spaceship crash into a mountain. So here, look, this is the start of our quest, and we're overlooking a naturally created village. Minecraft spawns villages. I'll tell you about more of what it spawns later, but it does do these wonderful villages. And the villages have people, bots, people, pretend people in them. And these bots are very, very useful because they actually will trade with characters playing the game, and you can get lots of special things from them. So the villages are really useful. They're a great place to be close to when you create your own central area where you're going to work and play. And if you look at the top left of the corner there, you'll see just that little odd light shape. I did the picture at night so that you'd be able to recognize there was something in the mountain. A little bit of light and a little bit of spaceship shape. So something's happened. And we get closer and we can see a different view of the spaceship, and we can see fire, and we can see churned up dirt behind it, look. Okay, so what's happened? Now then, next morning, or in the daylight anyway, right at the top of this picture you can still see the spaceship. Completely different view. You can see little snippets of the fire, so you can sort of orient yourselves to where it was in the mountain. But on the ground here, you've got little people. You can see 3 of them in that picture. A little man at the bottom there in a green jumper, one in a sort of turquoise jumper, and one in an orange jumper. Oh, Heike's pointing. Okay. And these bots actually give messages. They say things. If you step close to them, they will give you and only you a message. They don't give it to everybody on the sim. So you have to go to them as a researcher to find out what they know. And there are about 8 or 9 of them, and each of them will tell you what they think happened, or what they saw, what they heard. They'll give you their little bit of the story. So the quest really is for students of any age, in any language. I've done it in English, but it can be quickly translated into any language under the sun. To go round and collect as much information, keywords, bits of information as they can from all of these different bots. And then they can come back to something like Vocaroo or their phones, it doesn't matter, and make a news report. They could do an audio report on a phone on Vocaroo. They could do a video report on the phone, save it to Flipgrid. They could do a written report on Google Docs. This could be collaborative work. They could be single pairs, groups, however a teacher wants to work them. There's no set way. Obviously, this is more for inspiration than a set exercise aimed at any one specific level or one specific language. All of that side of it needs to be matched to the people doing the activity. So one little quest there. Now then, the one bot gives you something very special. This is a key message, because that first part is a complete project, and the children will produce their work, whatever work you've asked for, audio, visual, written, and you give them a prize. You give them a prize for completing, because it's sort of a game, isn't it? So if you're doing a game, you get a prize, a badge, a prize, a new piece of armor, something special for perhaps a lump of gold or an emerald that you can do something with, something special for the game. And obviously, if you've played the game, you'll know what the special things are. But this message here, well, I was here very soon after the crash. I was working in the fields nearby. I saw all these folks rushing around looking under the spaceship. After they'd looked around the outside of the saucer, they piled quickly inside again. They must still be in there. I never saw them come out. So that's a clue now that we want to get children into the spaceship, because there's stuff in the spaceship to be found. So here we are, we're approaching, and you can see the fire and devastation. And you can walk in and all around the spaceship and look all around at the reactor that seems to have broken down and everything. And there are lots of hidden things which you can't see, and I'm not showing you, but there are 2 treasure chests there which are quite obvious. One would hope they'll find those. They should find lots of information. They might find prizes, they might find treasures, they might find Minecraft goodies, they might find captain's logs. You just don't know what they're going to find. But one would hope that eventually they'll either be directed to the portal by what they find, or accidentally come across this portal in front of us. And we're going to go through the portal, and we land on a platform high in the sky, but sadly the mothership has already gone. It's gone, taken its load or its survivors or whatever, and so you can't either talk to them, or if you're a survivor yourself, you can't get to them. So a further part of the story now is to accidentally, probably, click on the teleporter, because I'm sure they'll go and have a look at what these things do, these 2 yellow blocks. They'll arrive on one of the yellow blocks, so it might be quite obvious that something happens if they go to the other one. And they are brought to, well, a new planet, a survival area. What would you call it? Call it what you will. And so if we look around here, we've got, oh, there's one survivor there. You can see one little bot there with a message. You can see water. Sorry, yeah, you can see a tree in the distance. There are trees. You can see some water on that picture. There is some water. So basically, they should have everything, or be able to mine or find or grow or build absolutely everything they want here to survive until the mothership comes back, and they will obviously know when that's likely to be. So there's a whole further project if children or students get that far. And this, of course, is the fun bit, the building and the surviving and everything else. Yes, Mars, that's exactly it. The red planet. Actually, it doesn't look as red on this picture as it does when you're actually on it. So a whole project right from beginning to end, and you can expand it as much as you want or shrink it as much as you want. You can give prizes, but it's just one idea that we've actually developed to be a complete project to try and inspire teachers. Okay, I think that's all about that one, unless anybody wants to ask questions about that one. But maybe I'll do the 2 first and then deal with questions. Okay, and this is a little question in OpenSim.
Okay, just a quick question.
Yes, yes.
How long did it take you to build this?
Right. Dakota built most of it, not me. Not me. The village was already there. Dakota built the workshop in a couple of 3 nights. I did the little bots, that was my bit, and that took me, when I learned how to do it, which took me probably a couple of hours of getting it wrong. When I learned how to do it, they take about 2 minutes each. They're no time at all. The Sky platform and the portal, probably, you can ask Dakota is here, but probably no more than an hour, the speed he builds. It's incredible. And then that red patch at the end is mostly a raw virgin material. It's an area there. It's called the mesa, and that is its color. It's one of the biomes. Minecraft has lots of biomes. You can have Arctic biomes with polar bears and igloos. You can have jungle biomes with parrots and exotic flowers and exotic trees. You have every sort of biome you can possibly imagine. Desert, tundra, Arctic plains, rivers, deep ocean, deep seas, oceans. Every biome you can possibly imagine on the earth exists in the game of Minecraft, and in the naturally seeded worlds they're all there. They have treasures for you to find, like a buried temple underwater, a wrecked, ruined, three-quarters buried temple in the desert, a witchy hut in the swamps, a very special woodland mansion, which is where the absolute masters of the mobs are waiting to kill you. There are lots of things there for the children to actually play. But the mesa, that red area, was almost virgin. Dakota put a little bot there, and he put a few lights to light the way, and very little else. Yes, as Dakota said, in Minecraft, mostly the learners do the building. Now, being totally and utterly new to Minecraft just a few weeks ago, the first thing I tried to do was build a kids' playground. I built a maze, I built a few 3D coloured type games, I built various odds and ends, and they were trashed by griefers a couple of nights ago. And we went last night to Dakota regenerated the land for me, which was lovely. And he said, "Do you want to rebuild the game park?" And I said, "Well, no, I think the kids can do it. Let them build the game park. They'll probably do it 100 times better than ever I could imagine. And they will talk colours and sizes and shapes and everything else. If we can get the right sort of language going in the scenarios that we set for them, then they will learn the language, and they will enjoy it. It is like Tuncer was saying, it's a new mindset. It's the children teaching the teachers. We just need to give them time and freedom, and the ideas to build, to encompass the language you need them to learn. And I'm pretty sure that's absolutely right. Do I still hate Minecraft? I've got very mixed feelings about Minecraft. It's a sort of love-hate relationship, I think. I love to hate it. I'm still much more happy and confident in OpenSim, but then I have been there for 10 years or more, you know. Dakota's still got to train me a bit more yet. Yes, he has. Yes. So let's just have a quick look at this project in OpenSim, and then, if you like, I will take you into either world, which anybody would like to see. So this is the landing point on the Guinevere Island. And as you can see, there's a huge sort of drawbridge where you're going in here. That's a shop area over to the back where it's white, and you can choose your avatars there. And then you go into this first castle, which is the orientation area. From there, you go into a further castle, which is gamified, because you've got to like answer questions to close the drawbridge so you can get in and all that sort of stuff. And that's all being developed by Nick at 3DLES. And there's another island called Team Up, which again Nick is developing team games on that one. There's an island which is called I've forgotten it already, Fair, something peculiar, which is the sandbox where we will be allowing teachers to build and try things out and play. And then last week, or the week before last, I asked Nick for a movie studio sim, because I had an idea, again, for this quest that I wanted to build. So let's move on. Okay, now then, I used to teach for Language Lab, and that was a very immersive educational establishment on Second Life. And we had this thing called Crazy Hotel, where just everything went wrong and was wrong. And I didn't want to do the Crazy Hotel exactly the same, but I wanted to do the Crazy Holidays idea. So that's looking down on the whole sim, and if you look around, you can see, let me get a pointer. Oh, I've lost it, there it is. you can tell that's Heike, not me. You can see this is the reception for the holiday place, and then you can see funny little buildings. You can see a beautiful clubhouse, another funny little building down there, beautiful house, tree house, all sorts of funny little things. Okay, so let's go and have a look at this quest. So here we are, Guinevere Holdings, Luxury Holiday Lets, a beautiful meeting place where the quest starts. Everybody will meet in there for a cup of coffee. We've got the coffee out, we've got the coffee cups, the coffee tables. This is the upstairs. We've got 6 posters, and the posters look okay. The people will meet here. They will actually fill in a Google form or well, actually, I've done it on a note card, so they just fill it in themselves. So we're dealing, first of all, with form filling, because that's quite important in language learning. So very basic form filling things, words, things like next of kin, NOK, DOB, date of birth, things that you can very quickly come unstuck with if you don't recognise them. So a bit of form filling to start, cup of coffee, social chit-chat, meeting point. Everybody then chooses their cabin. Now let's just have a look at one of those posters, and you can see we've got a little lounge area, a dining area, a bathroom, bedroom, outside little patio area. Okay, what's not to like? So people can have a look at their pictures, choose their cabins. As they choose their cabin, they actually get too soon. They get a note card, and the note card gives them directions. So they have to walk from the reception to their cabin. It also gives them roles. So the characters are given roles for that particular cabin. So it's something like an old couple with a cat. One of them's got a dodgy hip. One uses a walking stick. You name it, we've got all sorts of roles. Everybody's got something. We've got a honeymoon couple. Yes, okay. I'm not going to spoil it. You can come and have a look at it if you want to. But we looked at cabin 4 on the picture, and we saw 4 pictures that looked like 4 little rooms. And what we've actually got, of course, is everything squashed in one room, and the toilet is behind the screen there. The wash basin isn't even behind the screen. There are curtains, but they're not very adequate. They're only behind the bath. And then we've got guests. Look, there's a raccoon here, and there's something lurking under the bed there. In the cabins, in each cabin also, there is a teleport, not a teleport, what do you call it? A globe, a touch globe, that gives them helpful phrases for complaining. And this is the crux of our whole project, is that people will complain. They will have plenty to complain about. So there you are. Look, the curtain doesn't work properly to cover everything when they try and close it. That is, that's the bathroom behind a screen. They haven't got a door. They've got a curtain. And the worst thing, of course, is it's got this huge, great big ramp, and it's on the top of 3 tree trunks. So that's cabin number 4. That was the one that we looked at in the set of photos. It looked quite nice. Okay, some of the possible problems, you know, these things are lurking around some of the cabins. Okay, and then just a place where you can sign up to go into the Guinevere Island, and the grid, instructions how to get there. Now there are actually videos on the Guinevere Project EU, I think it's all one word, YouTube channel. I should have found that and pasted it, and I haven't. Videos explaining how to sign up, how to get in, both for this and for Minecraft, so you can join us on either game if you'd like to have a look around and see what we're up to. If there are any questions now, I'm quite happy to take them, and if not, for a few minutes I will take you into either world and screen share if you'd like to see either world. I'm handing over to everybody here now to decide if they'd like anything for the last sort of 10 minutes. So, any questions for a start? Somebody's got mixed feelings about Minecraft as well as me. Not just me.
So we put it out as a poll for the people. Look, we have the memes, a quick poll. What would you like to see? Minecraft or Guinevere OpenSim? Oops. So multiple choice, you can only choose one or the other. Here we go.
One for
Answers.
Minecraft. 3 for Guinevere. Okay. 4 for Guinevere. Oh!
Ah, it's coming in. It's a strong battle. We can also... we've done nearly broadcast the results to everyone to see. It's a very, very close draw.
Wow.
But the Guinevere
Okay.
OpenSim has
How
won.
much time do we have? How much time do we have? We have about 10 minutes, don't we?
We've got 10 minutes left, but we can run 5 minutes over if that's okay, because there's a
do
break
5 minutes.
afterwards of half an hour until the next session starts.
Let's do 5 minutes in each then, and then people can have they can come and join us quite happily. So let's do 5 minutes in each. So I'm going to share, first and foremost, I'll go into...
There will be a Minecraft workshop on Sunday, so just to let people know, on Sunday we have another Minecraft workshop that's at 3:30 p.m. GMT. That is 4:30. Yeah, look at both. Fantastic.
Okay. Okay, are you seeing my screen okay? I'm in
Yes,
Guinevere.
we're seeing it really great.
Okay, I'm just going to actually teleport straight to that island for a start, so you can have a look at that island that we were on. And that's called Movie Studio. There it is. Movie Studio and teleport. Okay, now it is going to take a few seconds for it all to res around me. And typically it's gone dark. So let's make it light for a start. Sun position, midday. Okay, so here we are at the beautiful club. And while it's all resing, then I'll show you the club. Mind you, this is probably resing as well. It takes quite a long time to res. So, let me in. Oh, all right, don't let me in. Finally, the door's going to open. Okay, so a lovely restaurant downstairs, pretty tables. We haven't got the bar. It's resing around me. It'll all get here soon. And we've got a bit of kitchen arriving, I can see. Oh, we've got a bit of kitchen arriving. Okay. Lights just arrived. I think I should have come up. Now we've got food without a table. Oh, that's it, right. Now we've got some food on the table. It's all getting there. And now we've got the bar. It is really beginning to res itself now. Okay, so we've got beautiful bar. We've got restaurant tables here. So lovely meeting place for conversations, restaurant activities. We have a sort of conference room, boardroom, again, meetings, interviews, any sort of role play situations with groups that you can think of there. And if we pop upstairs, we have got, oh, she's going to go slow. We have got a beautiful lounge upstairs. So group meetings for all sorts of things here. And that was the nice club that I didn't show you any pictures of when we were in the quest. Okay, I'm going to pull back my that's better now. I'm going to pull back, just teleport straight to where I want to be. So here's the opening place, the opening of our quest. Okay, so here's our beautiful receptions. And let me just touch
to laugh at the Guinevere holding.
Guinevere holdings, absolutely. So I'm going to touch. Right, so instructions look first. Leave this building. Can you see the note card? I guess you can.
Yes, we can.
Can you see? Yes, okay. Leave the building and turn left, follow the path, etc. So all the directions, and then also you have roles to play. So find out everything that's wrong in your cabin, make a list, look at your role, head back to reception to make a complaint. So you want to get the car to the cabin to unload all the bird watching and fishing kit. You can't carry all that and 8 cases on your long walk. There's a dreadful noise from the concrete mixer. Partner two's got dementia, so she or he is lost, goes to the wrong cabin, forgets where to go, loses instructions, forgets everything, asks where he is, where are his parents, what day is it, when's breakfast, creates havoc, wanders away, visits others, asking for their partner, and drives everybody crazy. So we've got these sort of little role play type things going on as well as just the crazy cabins. We've got role plays, we've got all sorts of things. Let me just teleport out. Right, where does anybody want to see? Let's go and look at a different cabin. Let's go and have a look at this one here. Now you notice it's got an umbrella sticking out of the top. That's because the bathroom doesn't have a roof. Okay, so let's go and look in this one. Now this is the one I think that I put the two old folks. Oh, I can't remember what I put where now. But we've got a very small living room. Oops, spotted a rat there. Very small living room and not even a bedroom there. So we go back outside again. And to find, I can't even get out of the door on this one. Why can't, oh, because I've gone into mouse look mode. Okay, back, that's better. Now walk. Now walk. No, she's not even going to walk out. Okay, I'll jump out. All right, so now then to get to the bedroom, this is a mystery in itself, but eventually I'm sure they'll find their bedroom. And here's their bedroom. They haven't got a door, notice. And guess where those ladders go? Those ladders go to their bathroom. So, complete nightmare scenario, and most of them are. But the sim's very pretty. There's lots of really beautiful areas. I'm not going to go to the concrete mixer. It is so noisy, it'll drive everybody insane. I think I'll just show you a completely different build now. So I'm going to raise myself 1,000 meters into the air because this was called Movie Studio. And here I am on a sky platform. And if you look in the sky around me, you'll see fairground, art room, sitting room, departure lounge, arcade, store, garage, collect clothing here, discotheque, arcade, pool room. Okay, so you can see you've got various, I mean, we have only had this about 2 weeks. It's not fully developed, but there are lots of things to do already. Heike's asking for a TP. So let's TP Heike so she can join me. I think I'm getting a bit of lag, Heike. I can't TP you. I can't seem to TP you. I can there. Okay. Right.
Don't need to
So,
if it doesn't work. It's just fun.
yeah, no, I've got you. Okay, so let's pop and have a quick look in the disco. So we've got a DJ booth, we've got lights, we've got a pretty floor, we've got dance balls, all the sorts of things you'd expect. If you go into the pool room, you've got a little bar, you've got some barrels in the corner, and you've got some games. Now the thing is about all these, if you look now, you're seeing right inside, so you can film. You can film in and you can see in from any angle, but as soon as you're in, right in, you've got walls. So the inside looks closed, it looks like it's a complete building. The outside is all transparent so that you can just film through the walls. What else? Oh, the laundry. Oh, I'm very proud of the laundry. Here you are, here's the laundry. I put white tumble dryers and white washing machines, and then 2 days later I found all these working ones, so of course they had to be changed. So we've got a few mesh people, we've got some coffee dispensers, soap dispensers, laundry signs. So again, meeting places, all the sorts of scenarios you can do. We've got the departure lounge for the airport. That's not rezzed very well, that picture. Oh, maybe I'm just too far away. So again, you can see in can't see in on the two dirty windows. Well, you can, but it's dirty. But you could still film in, but you can see in from the two clear sides. What have we got this side? We've got a little lounge, just a little sitting room. Again, lots of scenarios. Door's wide open for some reason, but it does close. Lots of scenarios, demand, little situations and role plays. Okay, so a little art room there. So not masses yet, but as much as we could possibly. Oh, shop! I forgot the shop. Look, and the inevitable fashion parade, because once you've got new clothes, you need to show them off, and people need to explain what their partner's wearing or whatever. You know how it goes. In this side of the shop, actually, this is quite useful because these are costumes for machinima. You've got all sorts of character costumes here. Upstairs is proper clothes, proper clothes, but they're costumes. Okay, so that's a good look at Guinevere. I think if it's all right, I'll take you into OpenSim now instead. Is that okay with everybody? I'm not actually watching the text chat, I'm sorry. Everything's eye-catching, thank you. Pretty club, yes. Nice ideas, good, good, good. Okay, so now I'm going to go into, I'm going to stop sharing here.
Before you go to the Minecraft, can anybody enter this virtual world just like that, or?
They can at the moment, yes. The idea is that, of course, because it's an EU project, it would be public and it would be open for the public, except when we've got classes. You know, people that are using it with purpose. But for the moment, yes, people can come in, film here, play around here.
But they do have to sign up for an avatar, right? So, I mean...
Yes, yes, yes.
That's it, yeah.
I did share the...
Can you hypergrid into it, or...?
Yes, you can hypergrid into it. And on my presentation, if you want to just put the last page up later on, that gives the addresses both to sign up and to hypergrid.
Fantastic. And just to explain to some people, hypergrid is a technology that connects various OpenSim virtual worlds. So if you have an avatar in one, you can hypergrid into Guinevere OpenSim at ease. So, over to Minecraft.
So,
fantastic.
Back to game. We have swapped games now. And I just need... Sorry, I need to just... I'm still attached to my avatar. Right, I'm back here now. Okay, so now I'm in a landing center here in Minecraft. Right, now I'm going to make it daylight because I can see it's going dark. So time set to 0. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to go outside. Now the reason I did time to daylight is because I don't actually want to be fighting mobs. I just want to be showing you around. So this area, let me see if I can come right back and jump up in the sky and show you a bit better. Okay, so there is a building. Now this is one of our project partners on her first day in Minecraft having a little play. She chose blue and purple and pink as the colors, and we've stuck with them. So this is the teacher's shelter. There is everything there for teachers. There's food, there are tools, there are minerals, ores, and all sorts of things that you want. This is a teacher area, not the children's. And look, wonderful ship out there. I'll take you. Oh, Dakota's there. Dakota can perhaps explain his ship a little bit more in a minute. I just want to quickly show you the teleport stations. I was saying about all the different biomes that are available in Minecraft. And if I just go down to land here, you'll see that we've got the playground. I did mention the playground. Over on the right, you'll see Crash Scene, you'll see Hinderval, a village, playground. Now we've called these all odd things, like Llama Land is a biome where you can actually go and see llamas. Jungle, Bell Harbour Village, Igloo, Polar Bear Country, a Citadel Village, the Witchy Hut. These are things that can be found in the biomes: a seaside village, plains village, ice plains, roofed forest, West Point Village, a deserted mine and a swamp. We've got something growling at me. And I'm pretty sure that is a parrot mimicking one of the mobs, because there's a parrot somewhere about. And it's the parrot, not the mobs. Yeah, there's the parrot in front of me. The parrot is mimicking the mobs to frighten the life out of everybody. So here we've got a teacher base with teacher teleports, with all the resources they could want. It's a starting point to train teachers. Now we had the most beautiful, or 3/4 of the most beautiful spawn point for children 4 days ago. It was a huge fortressed circle, massive, split into 4 with basic instructions for children right in the middle, and then 4 quarters for 4 languages. There was a pyramid like the one outside the Louvre, with museum and art gallery and everything for the French. There was Bavarian houses for the German quarter. There was the Leaning Tower of Pisa for the Italian quarter, and the Spanish quarter wasn't developed. And then sadly 3 days ago we had griefers that completely trashed the lot. It's heartbreaking, and so that's gone. But this area, well, it was griefed again 2 days ago, but this was all on a backup, so we managed to restore it yesterday. So ship out there, so let's have a little run out to the ship. I'm sure Dakota might like to, if he's got voice, might like to tell you a little bit about his ship. So you can see this path is all sort of set out beautifully. You could take a boat. There was a boat there that you could actually sail to the ship if you wanted to. I'm just going to run.
Just enabled voice for Dakota if you wanted to chip in.
Okay, so here's a ship. You can hear all sorts of things on the ship. You can hear creatures, engines, motors, I don't know what you can hear. Oh, and we've got a horse on the ship. We have a map here of the whole area, and if we get quite close to it, you can see where the ship is. So to the left with the white roof, you can see our little teaching area. I'm sure you can see the crash scene from here, but maybe not. But I can teleport to the crash scene. No problem. So is Dakota coming to tell us a bit about his ship or not? Dak, are you talking?
Dakota, do you want to give it a try? You need to
did
click on
say
the
you had
microphone
trouble.
at the top of the screen.
He did say he had trouble with Adobe Connect. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I thought he'd not seen that I enabled audio, maybe.
I can't. Hang on. I'm going to escape the game for 2 seconds while I look at the chat.
Never mind.
I can't do both. I can't do both. Oh, there will be feedback. Okay, back to the game. Okay, right. So, all right. I'm not going to spend lots of time. You can come and have a look at the ship. You can investigate. There's layers down into the water and layers up into the sky. It is absolutely fantastic. A huge build. I'm going to go straight to the spaceship so that you can have a quick look at that. Home spaceship. If anybody wants to see something particular, do let me know, but I can't pick up. Oh, I can pick up the text chat now. Now I've opened the window, I can see it even while I'm in Minecraft. So here we are. I'm on top of the spaceship, looking down onto all the churned up earth and looking down onto those little villages I told you about. So let me actually fly and fly away so you can get a better picture of it all. Flying and looking back. So the spaceship, the villagers. There's Dakota down by one of the villagers. And just round the corner. I think it's round to this side. I get very disorientated all the time. Yes, there's the village that could actually see the crash in the picture. And you can see it's a beautifully developed village. Gardens, all the food they need. They have blacksmiths, and they have, looks almost like a church there in the middle, some sort of building. Gardens and everything. And as I say, these are naturally spawned areas. So, spaceship. the villagers giving their information to the children. If they happen to go down under the spaceship there in the dark, there's mobs ready to greet them and kill them, which of course the children will love. Okay, now I'm going to show you, I'm going to take you to the spawn point, and this is
Actually,
heartbreaking.
Dakota asks, want to see a secret?
Oh, absolutely. Does he want to share screen? Does he want to share screen? Yes, definitely. So I can't write without going out of Minecraft, but he can follow you. Okay, I'll have to come to you then. Okay, so TP, find him, D. Okay, I'm TPing.
TPA? TPA?
Well, it's just TPA for other people. It's not usually for me, but yeah, I'll do.
Oh, okay.
I should just be able to TP to him, actually. Let me just try again.
He said /TP.
/TP, I got it wrong. That's how good I am at
He's
Minecraft,
at the well
everybody.
in the village.
He's at the well in the village. Okay, let's go to the well in the village. There he is. Okay, so follow Dakota. Right, he'll run off at a rate now, so I can't follow him. Okay. Where did he go? In the water? Did he go in the water? Woo! What are you doing to me? Okay, I'm going to take a vision so I can see at night for one, and I'm going to teleport Heike to me. TP accept. And there's not a gap in the middle. Oh, get it right. I'm still so useless at it. Right, now where's Dakota gone? I think he must be along here somewhere. I've taken a night vision. I should be able to see where he is, but no. Oh, he's gone up there.
Just there.
Okay.
He's just
yes.
there next to you. And he's walking this direction.
Oh, we've got to him. All right, a secret. Wow, a chamber that I certainly didn't know about. Now, what's here, Dak? Another map. Okay. And there's a treasure chest.
Look at that.
Oh, what's this? Okay, let's have a look. He's got creative mode. Oh, these are command blocks to change the world into. So if I click that, I would be in creative, which I'm in anyway.
Mode. Okay.
In the right-hand side, survival, I'd be in survival mode. So this one, I could switch everybody to something. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So in different languages. Okay. Right.
Fantastic.
Okay. Well, secret then. I didn't know about this. Oh, and now we've got a button.
Oh,
so
and a teleport.
right, click on a button, and I'm going to end up somewhere, I hope.
Yep, I'm here as well.
I don't seem to have ended anywhere.
Yeah, we have, but we have to go upstairs, the ladder.
Up the ladder.
I think that's what he's disappeared to. I think. Look. Oh, Dakota. Oh, look where we are.
Teleporting.
Awesome.
Right. I'm going up again. I can't see where we are. I'm in a house in the cabin in the village, and I've just come out. My word. I've lost everybody else, but I'm here.
That is a secret indeed.
A secret passage. Okay, secret passage.
Fantastic.
So yes, I'm sure the children will build all those sorts of secret passages and secret things and wonderful buildings and games when they come. What I'd love, if anybody has any great ideas, any inspiration, is please to share it, because I'm sadly lacking, and I'm sure the kids have got. We're at Hinderval now, and I'm sure the children, your children, maybe you, will have many more absolutely superb ideas. So I'm going to head back to the teaching shelter, And then if people want to see other biomes, I can show them. So if anybody wants to see anything else now, we've already gone well over time. It's almost time for the next session. In fact, I feel we should actually wind up. What do you think, Heike? I'll stop sharing then.
Absolutely.
Time to wind up this session. Okay, so
isn't it, as soon as we are in Minecraft, we forget the time.
Absolutely. So I'm stopping.
It's so interesting.
Trying to stop screen sharing.
Many thanks to Dakota, who's been building these secret chambers, secret passageways, all these functions. It's just amazing the amount of work he does. He's in the States and in early retirement, and he is enjoying himself, as he keeps saying. He's enjoying himself tremendously. Thank you. Yeah, Michael says thanks to everyone. We're happy to be approachable. What we will do is we'd like to invite you, perhaps here and there, definitely for the pilot of the teacher training course, but we will also approach you, if at all possible, with a needs analysis survey. If you wanted to let us your email addresses, please do so, perhaps best in private chat to me. Leave us an email address. You just hover your mouse over my name, then you can start a private chat. And then we gladly invite you to the pilot, which obviously will be free of charge, but something like around the end of the year. And before that, we'll have a couple of other pilots, perhaps getting children into these various, not only children, but also adults. We have a wide range of pilot tests in front of us. This is just the preliminary building work. And Carol, many thanks, not only for your hard work that you're doing in is getting to grips with these environments. It is definitely, as you said, it was an experience getting out of the comfort zone of Second Life and OpenSim.
Still pretty useless at it, as you can tell. It's not intuitive to me. I pressed the wrong buttons and wrong fingers in the wrong place. But never mind. Thanks ever so much, everybody. Do come and join us. Sorry.
Tomorrow there will be, at 2 p.m. GMT, will be a Minecraft Symposium run by Van Stevens, Jane Chiang, and somebody called Priscilla Matani, who in Brazil takes her students who have special educational needs. Very interesting. Shortly after that symposium, which again lasts 1.5 hours, we will have a Minecraft workshop where we invite everyone who has Minecraft as a software running on their computers to join the Guinevere Minecraft server and to experience firsthand this environment, which we've seen now screen shared by Carol. Many thanks to Dr. Michael Thomas, Dr. Tuncer Can, Dr. Letizia Cinganotto, and many thanks to Carol and everyone here in attendance. This is closing the Guinevere Symposium.